Okay, so having sort of produced a couple of videos on MEDAKA outdoors in mild winter conditions, I thought I might say a little bit about what I think happens to MEDAKA in cold winters and even harsh winters. So I'm going to sit down and think what I'm going to say. I mean, I've never had direct experience of cold winters or harsh winters. So I've never, worked out or never seen how MEDAKA handle low temperatures or changes in the temperatures that occur. But it's pretty easy for me to say what happens with MEDAKA in harsh winter, with conditions with extended periods of zero temperatures or below zero temperatures and probably heavy snowfalls. Basically, in those conditions, surface of the water freezes over, the MEDAKA's metabolism slows right down, so it becomes dormant, they stop moving, they stop eating, and sink to the bottom of the tub, where water temperatures are probably just above freezing. And things can remain like that for weeks at a time until, under these harsh conditions, until temperatures start to increase. However, because I haven't experienced it, it's probably not so easy for me to say, what happens during, if you like, cold winters, where temperatures fluctuate, maybe just sometimes relatively warm, and then maybe drop to zero or just below zero, and then that can happen. A few days of cold weather around about zero or just above, and then a few days with warmer temperatures where the MEDAKA start moving about and eating again, or wanting to eat again. And maybe, there might even, when temperatures drop freezing just below, there might be a few light snowfalls, but not very much. So these fluctuating conditions where MEDAKA's metabolism is dropping enough that they start to be dormant for a day or so, and then temperatures increase, metabolism increases, and they start moving about. And if that happens during several months of a cold winter, that's perhaps difficult for MEDAKA to handle. Probably, this is the sort of thing that happens in spring when harsh winter conditions they start to warm up, and the same thing would happen. MEDAKA will move from short periods of dormancy to short periods of moving around, becoming more dormant, becoming more active, and maybe wanting to eat a bit. And then you've got problems of do you feed them or don't you feed them when they're active? But I haven't experienced that, so I don't really know. I keep my MEDAKA in conditions above about 10 degrees centigrade, 50 Fahrenheit, and that means that they never go into dormancy. They slow down, maybe don't eat so much when you get down to about 10 degrees, but I don't have this situation where they do become actually dormant, and then they start to get more active, and you got to decide, do I feed them or I don't feed them? Very difficult to handle, I would think, to make sure you're not sort of weakening them. You've got to feed them enough, but not too much, and that's so. But I've never dealt with that, so I can't say from experience. But I like to skim through some of the Japanese YouTube channels on raising MEDAKA outdoors, keeping MEDAKA outdoors. I don't understand Japanese, but with many of the channels, you can generate English subtitles. If you go into the settings option, it's there, auto-generate English subtitles. Some of the English is a bit strange, some of the way they translate, but if you've got a basic understanding about keeping MEDAKA, you can usually understand enough of what they're saying and how they deal with various situations. The one channel I like is run by a gentleman called Koji. Koji-san is retired. He's got a very informal way of keeping and looking after his MEDAKA. He does a bit of DIY stuff. And he just goes through his DIY activities with various things of moving his MEDAKA around, or so he generally just chats about what he does on a day-to-day basis. Now I think he lives in southern Japan, where you have, if you like, cold winters in his particular area. So there are fluctuating temperatures, similar to what I've described. Sometimes down to 0 or just below, sometimes a few snow showers, and then maybe a warm up, and the MEDAKA become active again. And he making decisions whether to feed or whether or not to make water changes and things like that. Now, if you're interested in that, I've left a link to Koji-san's YouTube channel, and he just recently produced another video about this sort of situation of fluctuating temperatures and what he does with his MEDAKA. And if you're interested, you can have a look. I'll leave the links in the description. Yeah, one thing I say, I like browsing through these Japanese channels now and again. Probably they're long-winded like me. They talk a lot, don't say too much, but you can speed up the playback speed to maybe 1.25 times the normal speed, and you get through it fast, and you can slow it down if there's something you really want to read in the subtitles. But it's interesting. Just have a look. Once you get into YouTube Japanese channels, then you find that they've got many channels about various aspects, far more than you will find in English channels. Okay, so I'll go and get this video up and running if I can, see if it's working out. And as I say, I'll leave a link to Koji-san's channel, and you can have a look if you're interested.